It is time for our government to move away from slogans. It is time for our government to move away from the political rhetorics and focus on the core duties of governance, development, job creation, and the rule of law.
So what they've created is a very, very crafty institution to dangle in the face of young Ghanaians that the authority or the 24-hour bill has been passed. So something is happening.
What I didn't mean come from Yabako. Now, Moon discusses something that will benefit the youth and the people of Ghana. You are telling the NDC to create jobs. The budget that they can use to create the jobs, you didn't partake. The 24-hour economy that they said, say, everybody jobs. You still didn't partake. Man, ana mabo to is it young montungu na yamdana
abusia for minor a doctor ni na enna me kasa me wura ho ya na me boa haya adasu upper west akem district na wo hwa edan ya wo hu ya eye jute sack factory year 2016 yewura mahama ene ni NDC aban no ebe sihye NDC upper west akem say de baba be ye koko boto na enam so mamrantie ne mabunu a ewo sam portable hard work enya adwuma ye na abusua hwe factory from 2016 bepemone enya adwuma da.
This factory one 43 million yeah CEO ya oja koko board hoyi former CEO o de goto sax bae sax ahodo sika do mo de goto sax e bae ni na enka yetimi ni go si factories I'm a Ghana for you, Bamanye. Factory is you, yes, you. Factory to employ Ghanaian youth, Bamanye. And the same MPP, Afenyo-Markin, and Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. I can't tell me say they wish Ghanaians well. And to say NDC for Eja to be no. No, I'm created, Mama. Anka gwago from pon na minim say otimi dia semba ba wey Afenyo-Markin party that spent 8 years. He was a majority leader. At some point he was at ECD as a boss. At some point the party free power 1 year 2 months ni omuna de one district one factory eba here. Almost creating millions of jobs. And he said, creating millions of jobs. Why are you now blaming this government? Say any what you might that. Anna, yes, I will be brave. I become more creating jobs with one district, one factory. Planting food for jobs. One of the buy. Hey, Afenyo-Markin. Minority leader, the miracle man. There's a Dennis Miracle.
The past 1 year, we have seen a government that believes in rhetorics, that talks more than it works. It promised the people of Ghana 1 job, 3 shifts, and called it 24-hour economy. It promised women banking. It promised to increase the producer price of cocoa to 6,000. Today, unemployment is on the rise. Today, this government has failed to implement its own flagship initiative, the initiative of 1 job, 3 shifts. Today, it has rather created a bureaucracy for its so-called 24-hour economy. To our mind in the minority, this 24-hour economy is more than a slogan. It's more of a slogan than a policy. The women banking has also not seen the light of day. Whilst the government talks about inflation levels having come down, the ordinary Ghanaian is going through crisis. Electricity has shot up by almost 30%. They came to repeal the e-levy, but ended up coming out with a law that charges 1 cedi per litre of petrol. They introduced the Doomsor levy. And above all, today, the suffering cocoa farmer is at the receiving end. It is time for our government to move away from slogans. It is time for our government to move away from the political rhetorics and focus on the core duties of governance, development, job creation, and the rule of law.
Hey! What's it? When you need to answer some questions. Yes, 24-hour economy, no. I scam. Now, I just slogans. And this is for mobile, must you create jobs, Ghanaians get jobs. There be another politicians, Monada die. Mobile jobs, no, uncreate here. And the Munya 24-hour economy, 24-hour day and day, Toba, and yen. Now, mun create jobs. Nam say, Madala, I was any best here. Mungode, yada say, why are they? Now, I know, Anna Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, or finishing NDC for quarter. Or see the NDC have deceived the young people of this country with a 24-hour economy policy. The bill that has been passed will not deliver a 24-hour cycle. So 133 no enyaduma baako fo be adwuma no pa na baako fo be adwuma no mre na baako fo be adwuma friends anadwofa no enyaduma omo se se ye ko pet bill ni bi 24-hour friends authority na ye ko pet bill ni bi na ye kan ye nse be fem and don't the money mahama are passing into law no or sit as hwinim I'm say okay, mama mintiase. So Afenyo-Markin ene Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. What young Ghana youth me wa. Yes. Ngode mayade. Enti democracy and say yen scrutinize NDC. And so no kre ebeye. Na mose bill no hwinim. Ana Kojo Oppong Nkrumah brother ka say ombeso make input a NDC for debate omukwa.
I remember in the beginning stages, one of the comments you had passed was that it was a deceit.
Yes.
Do you still stand by that?
100%. And I regret to say that they have deceived the young people of this country. What did they promise the young people of this country? Remember, when we were going into the election, there were two top issues. One was the cost of living crisis. The second was unemployment. Now, the cost of living crisis, they argued that it's because we had mismanaged the economy. One day we'll have an opportunity to deal with that. Unemployment, they said that they had an answer to it. That was a 24-hour economy. So we asked, what is 24-hour economy? Initially, you asked everybody, he has a different answer. And so we started mocking them about it. So you recall their manifesto launch. There was this young lady they brought who said that if we didn't have the capacity to understand it, they had a way of explaining it. It was 1, 3, 3. Very pretty young lady who they put up to go and do that exercise for her. And then the president himself, when he came to launch the manifesto, he had the clock there and says, this is the 24-hour economy clock. 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Ubia BDD, and then they responded, Peche. The concept they sold to the young people of this country, millions of them, was that they were going to turn the 8-hour cycle into a 24-hour cycle. And they actually listed, if you look at their manifesto, they listed agencies on the public sector side that were going to work 24 hours. DVLA, Customs, Passport Office, quite a number of them. They came to power, and one of the first things that we started asking them was the blueprint, the policy document. So you will recall from the president's first State of the Nation address, in my debate, I was like, when the president came, we were expecting to see the 24-hour economy document. He hasn't brought it. We kept hounding for it. We realized one day that they launched it in the public domain, never brought it to Parliament. I kept hounding them, bring it to Parliament, because this is your flagship program. Bring it early. Remember, Free SHS started September. Bring it so that it can start early. Eventually, what they brought is the 24-hour Economy Authority Bill. And that bill says that they are creating an authority to oversee the 24-hour economy. He has a chief executive, he has an internal auditor, he has board, and they will employ about some 100 people, they'll get their salaries and cars and other things. But when you read the bill, nowhere in the bill does it say that they are going to cause even state agencies or the private sector to work for 24 hours. The 133 that they gave us, nowhere in the bill would you find it. When I asked on the floor, the chairman of the finance committee, my very good friend Adongo, said, it doesn't need to be 133, it could be 122. We said, no problem. If it's 122, put it in the bill. Even the state agencies that they listed in the campaign, they eliminated it from the bill. So we actually moved an amendment to include it. Now let's include it in the bill. They objected to it. So what they've created is a very, very crafty institution to dangle in the face of young Ghanaians that the authority or the 24-hour bill has been passed. So something is happening. But absolutely nothing. And yesterday I saw the president in a signing ceremony. This morning I saw the front page of the graphic. And if you didn't know any better and you see it, you would think that, oh, when they say 24-hour economy, but I say with a lot of pain. I have a friend, he's an NDC guy in my constituency. He's called James. He teases me a lot every time I tease him a lot. He says they believe in it, they voted for it. In his name and on his behalf, and on behalf of the millions who voted for it, we have been asking, we have now seen it, and I regret to say that what they have passed will not deliver a 24-hour work cycle in this country. We'll be here.
Kojo Oppong Nkrumah ana utna parliament. Abra bill no emma impo. Ano say 24-hour economy. It won't work. So what the kind of rubbish that? Stephen Amo speaker eso say enwork. Afenyo-Markin sukabi say enwork. Then all of a sudden bill ne beto mo ni wie no. Mo say tama the bill ne ba no. Ya omo wie mo ho. Ana dey say NDC 4% omo pass it. Edi for Maxi. Ana mo say any omo manso twea. Ana omo wie na mo say montenam ana mo to aso. Kojo o de tu. The same way Ghana your budget I dey ba ebebu ama yetime create more jobs ama youth. Get by parliament sada no. You people find a good reason to walk out. Mantie because yabo awo kumsin munya results enti muntie ana mo sorry. Then afterwards when it got to the discussion of the 2026 budget, miraculously you find yourself in the same parliament listening to the same budget. Money can't see any budget presentation month, you know. Adaya movie press conference. You punch holes in that budget. Is it mona mu debate? What adent mun timin kan bom nyabako? Now mun discuss something that will benefit the youth and the people of Ghana. You are telling the NDC to create jobs. The budget that they can use to create the jobs, you didn't partake. The 24-hour economy that they said, say, everybody jobs. You still didn't partake. Man, yahe. Ana mabwatu is it young montungu na madana. Then today you are back to the Ghanaian youth, telling us that what they are bringing is a scam. So how did you even know it's a scam? When you decided that you are not going to get engaged, you're not going to get involved, you're not going to find yourself doing anything about it. But today, in public domain, on the media, you have a voice to tell us that NDC for no. Come here. Okay. Yate. Ntini kura. Ye here budget now mo present here. Mo babo mu to kura that time. Manti. 24-hour economy na chase. Ma twem ya wo akola na wie. Me kwa ko board man. Wan kan tell me say e de nyinse beba. Metima nyimba no. Me use protection. Manyimba na wie. Wa twabo se me nkru na wie. Wo wie no afa na ka tell me say me ko board man me wo. Na se ma wo wie. They do not do say me hwa akola no. And the bedroom no. you have to, you must help them shape it to the way most of them understand about Ghana for. And look at the fact say, excuse the incompetence we witnessed in the last 8 years. My jobs. When you bring slogans that should give us jobs, but didn't give us anything. Planting for food and jobs. Food no, jobs. One visit, one factory. Now the Casapreku, shame. Casapreku na no say ye grass and you. Now I know more say one factory. And then you can't moon stretch the factories you made in those districts. You find yourself sweating. You found yourself sweating. But and then mono so be my jobs. But time I say mo buano. Na ebuwa Ghana for no manye. What present here you are ready to talk about how it will fail. And start mpo. You are wishing for doom. Hey. Yo, MPP. Na say dey kwan ya mo fa so communicate. Ebe ni o. Na and what na me say okay. There was a company John Dramani Mahama in 2012-2016 around 2016. Odiba ya na nke eba be cocoa sacks. And na MP before. Essence contract to cocoa board side. I got to toss sacks ni bi. Ema manfo bi wie yesika di ye. Na wo Ghana here. I think around Western region. Na betima for workers. Mobile because we had a policy not to continue anything that Mahama started. Factory no and Ghana ni bi na commentary no.
Abusia for minor a doctor ni. Na enna kasa me wura ho ya na me boa. Haya adesu Upper West Akem District. Now, what a day we are a jute sack factory. Year 2016, Yura Mahama, and then the NDC Abino, a best share. NDC Upper West Akem say, the Baba Yoko bottle. Na and I was some Mamrantia Mabunua, a wasam portable had wet you in your Jumaya. I was here, factory from 2016 Vepamone, and yeah, Jumada. Now, our host someone made here, crown as a transformer. A better FD no sono. A day and Yama Hode, the Abahano. A from 4 a real transformer, Nahunia Mania, do that transformers to 1 more. A Hamba Kukra in him and a baby in him. Maybe I want to work with Sonia factory no at here. Or minor a doctor near. Upper West Akem and a beginning. Adieu. What do you have, dear? Swampa says, or my bit to say Ghana. You're serious, I see factory be say. Na yenja factory no enye juma since 2016 edebe pemne na sania me hwehwe mu ekere senka aban yitime eyesa factory ya anka ebeye the largest jute producing factory in West Africa. But here we are, Upper West Akimne, or my doctor Sunye. Self year with since 2016 edebe pemne enye juma den media chiri se me baba behwe. Obi a watch video ibia no enka Yura Mahama. I said on the 18th of November 2024. Oba adesuha na factory oka ho asem say Ghana for to aba the man of Sempania. Oba hwese factory be adwuma. Ene ye kai no se factory be pem na factory no enye adwuma. O my no a doctor ni Michina Upper West Akem District. Aha e adesu. Me bo me ho modern bia.
Akan wuram esi wuram. This factory, one, 43 million, 43 million, yeah. Musi ya Oja Koko Board Hoi, former CEO, or the got sacks by sacks. I would not see Kadu got sacks, eba in nan. And yet, many go see factories. I'm a Ghana for you, Mama, yeah. Factory is you, yes, yeah. Factory to employ Ghanaian youth, Bamanye, and the same MPP Afenyo-Markin, and Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. I can't tell me say they wish Ghanaians well. And the ombe say NDC for Eja to be no. No, mu created mama. But some company where see ya na bitima create cocoa sacks amanfo benya adwuma sika na e kra extra sacks no enka ye betimi e a different sector amanfo nya adwuma ye no. Ask them mumu say MPP for mame adenti no mo abandon here. Since you are so well wishes of the economy of the people of Ghana, since you love to see the progress of Ghanaian youth, a company anedaho adan ana mo ignore ye me yanka commander sugar factory kranka ho me mfa commander sugar factory me mfa nka ho ye net mi fanipa ye kra sugar e di free Brazil ni other countries adan ana mo hani guye. And two of you were part of the government. Now we holding respectable positions. Now more voice our MPP. So why? Sometimes say you can't say me I have a kasama yachin. You be kasama yachin. Now Afenyo-Markin say men can tell. Say adie ba ko abaga na hu hia pa when it comes to social intervention program. A free senior high school. I'm so no cray. Even though any better, and health insurance, any better. But people having the opportunity to get education is very important. But my question is, every year, the number of graduates are about from all the tertiary institutions, from government to private. Now I've got training colleges, both the nursing and teacher training, and agri training. I'm creating unemployment youth association. Graduates with degree, some with masters. I'm creating unemployment graduate associations. Unemployment graduate association. All Omo pass out every year about 6,000 people. So more 10,000 per year. Now, so different countries are senior high school qualification. At least etimonya some kind of job here. The obedi, the obeshed, the obenom, baby obeda, and give it more for them. Ghana, that certificate first. Na graduate for no knows who feel. Let me offer a juma more 500 Ghana. I no crano. After 3 months in Cheoka, this all go boss. Now we try and throw us oh mommy are in the hospital in 2 panacho. We don't try 1 month amount. But na graduates need to feel on your being yet. Gone with the days private schools. Basic private schools in JSSE, primary JSSE, no more senior school. Graduates for and then go university for buho. And the nanka senior school ni between the wasi akoya no. And then university for and a wo. Short na anka senior school for na be so mutenam. No ma ye dia awia go federal education no. And the graduates and the so more there all you care about is how we should struggle and get certificate. But after the certificate, the jobs that are sitting there, I met many certificate now. I know the what in air at them from and the home 4 and echo. I have spiritual. This all go past a honor bomb person and bomb in Eduma. Way common sense. Other countries. Yeah, yes, system no so flexible. I'm a business, private people. It's me a business. If I'm on for muka because system no dawa one check here you close it down. The government institutions employ qualified peoples and your party faithfuls. By day, this is a cause of no bomb person. Catchy, scan you on the macas eye. Maybe you watch it, the macas eye. Na we no mama Psalm 91 se me nkokan na masora of machine asa bompa A better than National Day for Thanksgiving and prayers. When the system can't work, the system will not work. The free education is better. But tell me, the results now of free education, you know, what course ultimate kind ultimate and no one and a day. We say, oh, Uko school new year and just a chin trying, unya government work and as a white collar job. Okay, true. I say ultimately entrepreneurship. Debenship. Relationship kwaye who's on entrepreneurship. The first no other wa dokono kwa na ubenya mubedi basket mbona wa ubechi obetraso. And kwaye expensive. Na entrepreneurship. No capital of 100,000 Ghana and a bank ben below name. Me a friend say bank account no. Obede loan name sika. So how do I start that entrepreneurship? You can start small. Kubeni. Okay, pure water business is one of the small business. Don't you think I need a refrigerator? Don't you think I need to pay electricity bill? Don't you need I need to go and buy the sachet water? Afe calculate kakabom. Is it a small business? You are telling someone who have not even seen 2,000 Ghana to the fiscal cash. I ain't an idea. Some go starting entrepreneurship. As I have brofone can and I be mode. Brofone can and I be mode. Relationship intimacy sustaining. We say entrepreneurship. Debenship. A debenship. Edumano say MPP. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. One Afenyo-Markin. Ampanya pa. Some person Ghana youth. Enye eduma ya. Ya faso ehuri. Even though mo abandon a factory na bit me produce sacks na size kana mo ne go work no go to sacks e ba he na faso ni so no en ke bit me na ko create jobs no mo anye. Even though say mo je factory ni si ho ke bit me fa workers mo anye. But say mo still mo be say NDC 24-hour economy it provide jobs e de maya ya faso. Over to you, John Dramani Mahama. Only friends go setano. Mo promo MPP say momoy. Create jobs. We the youth. Why? For comments no to comment section na say we are subscribe, like, na share unya enebi ere. Edi no eba ko pay. Maxi Billian I would naked truth or Oldboga trends macro. Bye bye.